On day 21, we had to pull ourselves away from the comfort of the hotel and hit the road again. But first we had to visit some of the old Spanish Catholic missions around San Antonio. Then we drove down to the wild, remote Gulf of Mexico seashore and to surprising Galveston. The Alamo is full of designations. It's a Texas State Antiquities Landmark. It's a U.S. National Historic Landmark. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. And it's a World Heritage Site, along with 5 other nearby missions. Those other 5 missions, but not the Alamo, are together a National Historic Park overseen by the National Park Service. Got all that? Okay, it's confusing, but what's important is that San Antonio Mission's National Historic Park is the 9th NPS site for Maceo and I on this road trip. Of the 5 scattered missions, we saw 2 today. The first was San Jose, full name, Mission San Jose y San Miguel de Aguayo. At the visitor center, they found in us willing customers for their souvenir tokens. We bought one of each, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different designs. San Jose was established in 1720 after the Alamo mission, established just 2 years before, proved so successful. These missions were intended to convert the indigenous Coahuiltecan people to Catholicism and make them tax-paying members of the Spanish Empire. In exchange for giving up their culture and even their names, they got a regimented life of work and of education in Spanish, plus food and places to live, and protection from attackers. San Jose was known as the Queen of the Missions. A look at its size and its sturdy construction tells you why. Built in a huge square, its long outer rows of buildings were where the Indians lived. At the back was the all-important church with its famous ornate rose window. To say nothing of the wonders inside the church, which is still functioning today. The other mission we drove to is Concepcion, full name, Misión Nuestra Señora de la Purísima Concepción de Acuña. This place is much smaller and a bit more unnerving. Not only might those jewels and solid gold ingots in our car get stolen, but fire ants might eat us. And there will be no help from the visitor center. Mission Concepcion was great though. I liked the smaller, quieter vibe. It was established in 1731, 11 years after San Jose. You can walk through the old rooms and get a sense of direct connection to this era of early Texas history. And like San Jose, this mission is still used for religious purposes today. On a personal travel level, for me, the sense of devotion and the lovingly crafted Catholic iconography brought to mind our trip to Lithuania the year before, particularly the Hill of Crosses near the town of Šiauliai. After several decades, the missions weren't of much use to the Spanish anymore. They had intermarried with the Indians, and their language and religion were well established, so conversion was no longer necessary. The missions of San Antonio were secularized and used for other purposes. The missions for us too had served their purpose, and with some nasty Texas heat settling in, we left and hit the road for another 7-hour drive down to the Gulf of Mexico. And as usual, we took the back roads. One of the first towns we passed through was Seguin. It's one of Texas's oldest cities, established just months after the successful battle at San Jacinto, and it was named for the prominent revolutionary Juan Seguin. Today's picnic near Gonzales was one of the trip's most enjoyable, a secluded and shaded spot called Lakewood Recreational Area near the Guadalupe River. Well, mostly secluded. We did have some curious guests stop by and join us for lunch. The rich farmlands in this part of southeast Texas were distracting. Sometimes you just have to turn around on the road and go get a photo of the cows and the birds. It was that kind of drive today. Later we passed through the city of Shiner. It's famous for Shiner Bock beer. It's also the hometown of former Major League pitcher Jeremy Fikach. I wonder if he's the one who bought that last knife at the Alamo. Near the small city of Eagle Lake, we pulled over to check out this remarkable picnic area. Crazy, gigantic trees, and an interesting historical marker to boot, if you can read around the bullet holes anyway. East Bernard is one of Texas's newest cities, being established in 2007, but what really caught our eye was down the road in Wharton, the TP Motel, a little throwback to our stay at the Wigwam in California on day 4. The little town of Brazoria struck me as rather charming. This town is notable in Texas history, but what's cool is that one of its notable residents has one of the most unique resumes I think I've ever seen. Sophie Herzog, born in Vienna, Austria, moved to Brazoria in 1895, and I'll just quote Wikipedia here. She was the first woman to work as the head surgeon in the American rail industry. She was the first woman in Brazoria to own a car and a telephone, and she developed her own method of bullet removal. That cliched old biography. The prettiness of the drive turned dramatically later in the day. Texas gets flat here, and you feel like you're nearing the water. Bridges become frequent, and everything seems more coastal. But before you get to see the big water, things get really almost supernaturally ugly. Gigantic factories and dense haze sit between you and the Gulf. One last obstacle to endure before the reward at the end. All you can do is drive through it and admire the shamelessness. After a while, around every bend and atop every bridge, I kept thinking we'd finally see the water. But there were always a few more miles to go, until this bridge over the Intercoastal Waterway. There it is, the Gulf of Mexico, the first big body of water since Channel Islands National Park in the Pacific Ocean on day 3, a milestone for this trip. The rest of the drive was along the edge of the water, past windblown reeds and houses on stilts that looked ready to collapse any second. Why, there's one of the residents now. Through small, pleasant-looking communities gripping the thin strip of land in defiance of the pounding water, the constant winds, and the occasional hurricanes. As a bit of history, remember that Galveston was where the great hurricane of 1900 landed. It's still the deadliest natural disaster in the history of the United States. It destroyed Galveston. This is actual Edison film from September 1900 of people searching the rubble for dead bodies. And the storm killed people as it continued all the way through the US and into Canada. It was still a storm when it finally petered out near Iceland a week later. But today, luckily, all was calm and lovely. We're only staying one quick night before moving on, but it was a thrill to be this close to the water, in such a remote but thriving place. It's fitting that our last full day in Texas was full of so many new vistas. Nothing more to do now but kick back with a Shinerbach, have some takeout Mexican food, and enjoy our last Texas sunset from the hotel room balcony. What a state! Tomorrow we cross over the Sabine River and into Louisiana. A long day of driving through swamps, hoping to spot alligators, and yes, finding some amazing Louisiana cuisine in the great little town of Abbeville.